Today we have Christy David, and she's going to talk to us today about colonization and resilience. Christy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, my name is Christy David. I'm from the Moricetown band, Smithers, BC. I have 37 years sobriety. I'm a survivor of 60 scoop. I was taken when I was 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a little bit about myself, and I'm in Surrey, BC.
Excellent. Yes. So is Jackson, his company, I think. Did you grow up with your culture?
When I sobered up 37 years ago, I got into culture, but not my band, no. I'm a powwow dancer. I've been dancing 37 years, and I'm a sun dancer.
Oh, that's really excellent. How about, so you didn't live off the land or anything like that? You were, I guess, in foster care. It was a little bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I got 0 for culture when I was in foster care.
So what do you think helped you bounce back? Like, enjoy your culture and stuff like that, and, your new way of your journey. What helped the most?
Finding my spirit, despite my family being so sick. Because, yes, I met my family when I had 10 years sobriety. And at that time, I really wanted to be family, and they don't know how to be family. They do not know how to be family. So I had to walk away because it was so devastating.
Yeah.
I had to stay clear. And still do.
I know it's so hard because, when we change our lives, it's sometimes hard for other, brothers and sisters to change too as well, because there's so much trauma with all our people, right?
Well, with my immediate family, they literally, one lives like 10 blocks away from me and she won't see me.
Oh, okay.
That's this is like 3rd generation family. And I'm going, wow.
How about tell me about your spiritual, emotional, and physical realm. How's that working for you?
Well, physically, I'm in great shape. I'm 67 and I'm sun dancing still. And I'm still dancing powwow. So physically, I'm doing really well. My biggest concern right now is resting my body after the doing the ghost dance for 2 days. So I'm sort of recovering from that.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you have to do a lot of self-care.
Yeah.
So what about past, present, and future generations? What do you think went wrong?
Well, past is a big one. Soon as a white man landed on our land, that's when the turmoil started, and having to have our culture and traditions being spat on from the white world. And there's still people doing that where they haven't accepted. Yeah. And for the past, that's where it started, because there was, I don't know how many people are in Canada, for example.
Yeah.
Think of them as being First Nation people, because that's how many people were in Canada before the white man showed up. Every person you see would have been a native person.
Oh, yeah. All across Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So past, that's where it was. And then the present time, I see it as it's turning. See, I follow the teachings of the elders where they have insight on what's going to happen in the future about Mother Earth, as well as the native people are rising. And the one that's going to rise the highest is the women in the native culture. And it's happening already. And what's going to happen is the white people are going to turn to the native people and ask for their help on how to save Mother Earth. And we have to be ready for that.
Yeah, that's so true.
So the future is only bright enough as us First Nations still have to stand and guide the so-called toddler white person to the truth and guide him through because Mother Earth is dying.
With all the technology and everything, with all the, dams and everything that they create, they don't realize that, we're the first ones that came here and looked after Mother Earth, and we only took what we needed. We didn't...
Well, first of all, the unity has to happen amongst the tribes, and that means unity within their own villages. That has to happen. If it doesn't happen, we will not survive. Because the bright light is going to come from the sky, and it's going to hit Mother Earth, and it's closer than a lot of people realize.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's a lot happening, hey?
Yeah. Well, Mother Earth's already fighting back with floods and fire, and that's going to get worse.
Every year it seems to be getting worse.
Well, I live in BC, and 50% of BC will be underwater, and that's next.
Yeah. We had a big flood, I think it was last year or the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year.
So as a society, how can we help? Like example, it's different jails or more treatment centers or better drinking water. This is the government that has to help us out with all this too as well. Protecting our water, stopping the suicide rates, be more cultural or spiritual. What do you think we could do to help this part?
Well, I think we could have the unity of all the nations, First Nation peoples, where there's a representation in the government, where they stand for the First Nation peoples, where the government will listen. Because they have to hear the Native voice before. So see what's happening here is culturally, there's going to be a meeting in September of all the nations are invited, where we're going to sit down and talk about the unity that is required and where our strengths and weaknesses are in each tribe and what tribes can help, which ones can't. And that's happening in September.
Is that happening in Vancouver or?
No, that's in central BC.
Oh, okay.
Haven't heard the total of where and when yet.
Oh, okay.
But it's going for the unity of every tribe, and it's all the medicine men and women that are going to be there.
Yeah. Wow, that's going to be very powerful.
Yeah.
Keep in touch with that one. And do you think we can learn from each other, or how can we learn?
I'm sorry?
Do you think we can learn from each other, or how do you think we can learn from each other?
Well, first of all, be teachable, because 99% of the people that I've come across, especially in ceremony, they're above us. That's not unity, because I'm an elder. The respect is not there, and it's something that I know it's got to be earned. But being an elder in any circle, doesn't matter where you are, should be treated like respectfully. And
that's so true, yeah.
That's a big one. That's really big. I don't know if it's because I'm living it now. That's why it's so big for me. Because I've seen elders being treated like shit. That's not right. For future, I think each tribe should have their own treatment center. There's a band up north in Manitoba, shuts down their band office, and they take every single person from that tribe, and they have a working camp where they learn how to tan hides, how to hunt, how to fish, and have all their summer bringing in the stock that's needed for the winter. And they're ready, they're tanning the hides, and they're making their regalia, and they're doing their ceremonies and teaching each person, especially the children, how to live off the land. That's what should happen.
That's an excellent idea.
It's not an idea, it's happening.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's good. Yeah, it should be shared all over. Each
tribe should be doing that right now. And that's where the Native government level needs to listen to them. Listen to these spiritual leaders, and they're not doing that.
No.
They're living on the white man's wave, which is sad, because they're selling land to the white people in order to fill their own pocket. And that's wrong.
So what about Have you traveled or did any sports of any kind, or what kind of hobbies do you have?
I'm an avid beater.
Oh, nice.
I make regalia, and I do bead brim hats.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Medallions. I do moccasins. I do buckskin dresses. I'm learning right now to make star quilts, and I'm thinking of flying out to Winnipeg to my friend's place. She's an avid star quilt maker, and she invited me to go there to learn how to make it.
Oh, wow. So you got a lot of hobbies.
It's not a hobby. It's giving back culture and tradition and keeping it alive, because a lot of people don't see it as, you got to remember, every item that's made out of leather has a spiritual realm to it. And that animal died for it, for us.
Yeah.
For the food, and that's the teaching behind it.
When you do groups, and do you teach your groups at all? Or
well, that's the thing. Over the last 10 years of beading, making leather stuff, I've done some workshops on various levels, moccasins, dream catchers, which is small projects, but it's not enough, because you got to remember, back before the white man showed up, tiny tots were taught how to collect supplies. For example, one elder shared that when she was a tiny tot, her grandmother got her to pull cedar boughs and bring the cedar boughs to her house. That's what she would do. She'd send her out and say, "Bring this." And she'd bring it in, and she'd watch her grandmother make baskets out of it, and she'd teach her how to peel the bark off the cedar.
Yeah.
That's when the child is being taught from tiny tot right through. By the time they were married at 14 or 15 years old, back then, they knew how to take care of the hides and take care of a home, and they were taught everything in order to live off the land, where that's not happening. It's happening very briefly, and that's what I'm doing, is brief times of doing workshops. It's just not enough.
And that's so important, because that's what happened a long time ago is we were taught from childhood to adulthood, right? To live off the land and take only what we needed. Yeah.
Well, my friend is making a healing center in Lillooet, and that'll be open for people that want to do ceremony in there. So it's a project being taken care of. Yes, we need money in order to live in this world, but it's not for money that they're raising this foundation, but it takes money to get it off the ground. And they got as far as, I was there in June, and they leveled the land, and I just left there last weekend, and they get the foundation down, and they're starting to put the framing it.
Wow.
So it's coming together.
Excellent.
And it's all volunteers.
Excellent. That's amazing. So what would you, pardon me, sorry?
There's hope, because I'm still alive.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
And you still have a lot to share.
I do, but it's not an ego trip. This has nothing to do with ego. This has got to do with my grandchildren.
Yes.
That aren't born yet. Because I want to leave this world for my son to be happy and actually can go out and hunt without fear. So it's leaving the world with for a good place for my future family.
So do you have any last words to share with the future generation?
Keep your spirit strong. Stay away from the white man's booze and drugs, because that'll kill your family, as it killed mine. And don't let this happen again with the residential or 60 scoop. Don't let that happen to you and your family. Stand proud to be in who we are, which is a First Nation woman or man. Stand proud.